Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's reads. This is YouTube channel James 13 Wicca. If you see it somewhere else, it's not correct. This is the wrong one. The main tarot I'm going to be using are the Gilded Tarot Royale by Chiarel Marchetti, text by Barbara Moore. On the bottom here is the website llewellyn.com, which seems to glare. Hopefully you can see it, or it focuses for a second at least, if you are interested in that deck. Supportive Oracle cards is this one. Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen Raish Baskin. This is the Watkins Publishing. WatkinsPublishing.com is the website. And in the maroon color, you can see Tori Hartman's website. I want to say it's ToriHartman.com. Yep, right there. And for the dice, I use a 22-sided dice for the major arcana, substituting 22 for 0 for the Fool. 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and for the element of the minor arcana, I use a 4-sided dice. MathArtFun.com is where I got it from. It's called the Dice Shop for the dice. Alright, that being said, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Okay, I think we're all ready. Let's get into your reading. Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Aries? Why are we so gentle with the cards? So gentle. So gentle. Like they're going to jump up and bite me or something. Your card shows up. We like that, right? It's the Emperor. Ooh. Really? Okay. So, where are we going with this? Today, I guess we'll start with the beginning. The Hierophant and then the Knight of Pentacles are backing this up. Those are two Earth cards. The Hierophant can talk about Taurus. This card, the Chariot, can talk about Cancer. You don't have to be dealing with anybody that's those signs. But the characteristics for for the Taurus energy, the Hierophant, would be diligence, never giving up, continuing on. This card, the Cancer card, very loyal, very heartfelt, very dedicated. The Knight of Pentacles is just, going along with the situation, following direction, and just being very dependable. All that wrapped together is where this has been at one time. At one point, this might be talking about a past situation that you were a part of at one time. I don't know if you're a part of it right now, but it seems to be affecting your future, where maybe you felt a part of a system or felt a part of a group, like you were an honored piece of the puzzle, maybe. Somewhere in your life where you felt like you fit. And for a time, at least, this reminds me of some jobs when, you're the first couple years maybe, and you're like, everything seems great, nobody's giving me a hard time, everything is fine. And I mean, maybe you still feel that way, but I take it with a grain of salt. This is talking about at least a period of time where this existed for this situation. What is the current energy for that situation for Aries? Just to see if we're matching up with the current situation that we're dealing with. Five of Cups reversed and the Tower card. Maybe that has recently or just currently coming apart or changing. I'm not even sure right now that it's a bad thing, but all good things must come to an end. Whatever this was, it's no longer that way. There's an ending here. This is going to be a weird reading. I can already feel it. I don't think this is really upsetting you. I feel like you might be more looking at it like, it was good while it was good, but things change. I don't think it really shocks you that that time did not last forever. I feel like you're kind of like, well, most things don't last forever. So the fact that it had its great moment, but it moved on, did I want it to move on? I don't know if I really wanted it to move on. Am I surprised? No. This is how life goes. And just because that door is shutting doesn't mean another door won't open. I feel like you have a lot of optimism in front of you and a lot of possibility. Kind of like, all right, that was what it was. Maybe it's time for something fresh. Maybe it's time for something new. A lot of positive energy with you. Is that recovery? What is that? No, that's balance. I knew I saw recovery somewhere. That's over here. So, is recovery a question? I don't think that's you. I think that's somebody else because that's over to the side. Maybe somebody else wants you to hang on so that the situation can come back in and have a new life. I'm not really feeling like you're a part of that energy. For some of you, maybe this is a relationship of some sort. Friendship, romance, business, employee, coworker, whatever you got going on. It had a great moment. At one point it was nice, but that time has moved on. And you're not really broken up about it. You're kind of like, oh, it's all right. That's done. It was good while it lasted. It's time to move on. You seem to be embracing it. Even though the tower is showing up, it's kind of like, well, things happen. Life's changing. Something has changed here. The tower is usually unexpected. Maybe you kind of knew it was coming, but didn't expect it to happen at this moment, but the moment is here. I don't see you broken up about it. Not that you should be, but I don't see you broken up about it. Is that what is leaving? Can we get more about what is leaving? Four of Cups reversed. Somebody doesn't want to let go. Somebody's having a hard time letting go. Okay, somebody else is having a hard time letting go and is working very diligently to bring something back to recover. I got that recovery before. This is kind of giving me, especially with those, the Four of Cups reversed, it's kind of like they want to hold on to something that doesn't want to hold on to them. Instead of being upset that, Four of Cups right side up is kind of like getting an offer that you don't really want. This reversed is not accepting something as moving on is kind of what I'm getting. The offer isn't there, but not accepting it. And the Death card came in, half out. Like, things are changing whether they like it or not, but they're working overtime to try to make it stay and trying to keep the situation where it is and not letting it really evolve, but it is evolving. If you're already in that energy, that you're like accepting it, because I feel like you're accepting it, there's really nothing they can do about that. Aries doesn't really play like that. Once you've made up your mind, you're going to do what you got to do. That's just how it is. I know that. I feel like I'm aware of Aries energy enough. If Aries says they're done, believe them. Believe them. Believe them. I don't know what to say about it. Like, I mean, I've had Aries in my life before, and there was only one I can think of, and they were done, and I knew to accept it, so I did. I don't know, it was weird. It was a friendship, and it just kind of went its way. They said it was over, and that they were going to go on to other things, and I was kind of shocked by it, but I respected that. I was like, that's what they said, and that's just what it was, and I respected that. I don't know, I didn't really feel like there was anything to really dicker about. Once they made up their mind, and that's what it was. The Three of Swords reversed is like somebody's trying to avoid heartache. I don't think this has to be a bad ending. I don't think it really... I just feel like it's kind of like... I don't feel like we're having any type of vicious words. I don't think it's necessary. I do feel like what's done is done, and we can quietly just kind of move on. Sometimes an ending doesn't have to be painful. Especially if it's something, even if it's a relationship, if it's like a romantic or whatever type of relationship, it doesn't have to be painful. It can just be like, hey, done. Sorry. Not sorry, but I'm done. That's that. End of story. And we don't have to have it. It doesn't have to be brutal. And I'm getting what they're saying with this. You're done. I get that you're done. You're already moving on. You got the Three of Wands, excuse me. Three of Swords is reversed. And you've already made up your mind. Once you've said your piece, I'm going to go with the advice for this first. The advice for this is once you've made up your mind, this is the advice coming in. Take it with a grain of salt. You don't want it, don't take it. That's all. Do you. You do you. Go towards what you're happy with. Once you've said your piece, you don't have to explain it ad nauseum. Okay? They're saying just follow your heart. You're done. Move on. If this is one of those situations where you're like, I don't want to talk to them anymore, I've actually done this myself. There's been friendships I've ended, and I politely let them know, like, listen, we're ending this friendship. Since we're ending this friendship, I'm removing you from social media, and I'm going to block your number on my phone because I don't want to deal with you again. And I remember one person telling me they thought that was kind of overkill, and I said, no, I'm done, and I just don't want to have even any possibility of us connecting. We're done. Done is done. Let's let that be. And it worked for me. That's what I wanted. And I don't, like, if we're ending the friendship, I don't see the point. Like, if I want to shut all these doors and make sure they're locked, that's my business, and you shouldn't be contacting me anyway, so what's the problem for you? I'm just giving you a heads up. That way, if you change your mind, you're not going to get shocked, because when the door is shut, the door is shut. There's no reason to feel bad. There's going to be, for some of you, maybe more than some, you're going to have this urge, or somebody might be pushing you to help the situation heal. This is going to drag stuff out. I get that this isn't a good idea. And everybody's different, right? You decide for yourself if this fits you when I explain this. Aries doesn't have tolerance for bullshit. They just don't. And you can try to be nice, and maybe in some moments you can put a little bit of frosting on that in some moments, but it's not going to last all that long. And I feel like, and if I'm wrong, let me know if I'm wrong, when you really try to go against how you really feel just for somebody else's benefit, it only goes so long, and then, oops, I said something that was a little bit brutal. And I did it again. It's not going to be so healing, and it could create some aggression one way or another, especially if you get fed up with it and you're like, listen, I'm sick of talking about this. I already told you, no. And like, I feel like when Aries gets frustrated, they get more and more, not just to the point more, but they get more brutal about, apparently you don't understand how I'm explaining this. So it's like, first of all, I tell you it's red. And then I'm like, listen, it's blank and red. And then it's like, I don't know what's wrong with you. Have you seen a fire engine before? Have you seen this? Have you seen cherries? Have you seen strawberries? Have you seen cars that are red? Do you not know what red is? And I feel like that's where it goes. That's kind of like, we'll say it first. We're like, okay, it's red. I said it's blank and red. And then it gets just wiped. Like, I don't know what I have to do to explain this to you. This is what it is, out of the frustration. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm just like, they're saying you don't even have to bother. Like, do it. Set your piece. Say what you need to say. Bye. Gone. There's nothing wrong with that. I get that there's nothing wrong with that. Now, they are going to give you a heads up about the after effects on this one. I don't think it's really going to shock you, but they're saying, again, you don't have to deal with this. You don't have to deal with this. You can just stay out of it. Other people want to mediate it out. Let other people mediate it out. You don't have to do this. I don't know what this is. I mean, it's a general read. They're saying you can move on from it and not look back. If other people want to sort out the details, whatever they want to think, let them think what they want to think. And the reason they're saying this is because what's going to happen is there's going to be people who, they might try to paint you as the bad guy, or, you know, I don't understand why this happened, or I don't understand why they won't even talk to me anymore, or I feel like this just makes me feel like one of those things, and I hate these types of conversations. There's those type of conversations where you say the answer, basically. And then they ask the question again, and you're thinking to yourself, I just told you that answer. So you're like, okay, maybe I need to use different words. I'll say the answer again. And then they're like, it's almost like they're challenging the answer. Like, and you start realizing after you said it the second time, it's not that they didn't hear the answer. They want to change the answer. Which, again, that's why I'm saying, I mean, this is a nice card. It's healing, but I'm getting, you're going to drive yourself nuts trying to make this right. And this analogy I'm giving is why, because I get like, okay, I told you twice, and now I'm realizing after the second time, it's not that you didn't hear me, it's that you're trying to change my answer, which is going to ignite you a little bit. Aries, it's another thing Aries really doesn't have patience for. Like, nope, I know what I think, I know what I said, and now you're starting to push my buttons because I don't like it when somebody thinks they're going to change my thoughts and my feelings. I told you what I think. I told you what I thought. You don't get the right to try to change my mind just because you want to act like you don't understand what I'm saying. You don't have to deal with this. I'm telling you, you don't have to deal with it because I feel like you've made your peace. Somebody's playing this game. Maybe they're gaslighting themselves. Believe it or not, I really believe people do that. I really believe people gaslight themselves to try to make themselves feel better about a situation, as if what you said didn't make sense, or they think they didn't understand, or you didn't really answer the question and you did. I just wouldn't even bother playing into this. Let other people sort it out. Let other people sort it out, especially if you've already given the answer more than once. They're saying you don't have to deal with that. There is stress with that because I understand that. Like, that's why they're saying just say your piece, move on. Afterwards, there will be this secondary, like, I call it whiny energy. Kind of like, no, blah, blah. Yeah, no, you did say. Aries will say what they feel. The Aries I've known, they will say what they feel. I don't know really. I don't really think of Aries as shy. I think there's a lot of different flavors. It's kind of like Leo. I don't think of a Leo as shy, but every now and then somebody slips into the comments and they're like, well, I am. All right, there's different flavors, so I want to honor that, definitely. But the base energy, the normal energy I'm familiar with, not really shy. So, again, you don't have to deal with this. Do yourself a favor. Keep yourself happy. Let other people worry about themselves. Especially when I don't feel like whoever this is you have any animosity really towards. And even though I feel like it's going to aggravate you if they play that game, it's in the past. Let it stay there. Don't make it something you have to monitor. I just don't feel like it's worth it. Take it with a grain of salt. Of course, you know your situation better than I do. Anything else? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.